I made a Bryce Young video about a month ago saying why I believe he sucks, and this is the third fucking Bryce Young video that I'm making in the past like 6 months. I made a lot of content on this dude. You could say I'm milking it or it's running dry at this point. It probably is, because people are probably getting sick and a bit tired of hearing me rave and rant about how much of a scrub this kid is. But Bryce Young is garbage. He is a glorified high school quarterback who has no arm strength and has no ability to read coverage and has no pocket presence. And his athleticism has been heavily overrated. Just because he was athletic, he looked great, against fucking college teams. It doesn't mean that that's going to translate well over into the NFL. We've seen this time and time and time again with quarterbacks that come out of college that are so hyped to be these dual threat elite athletes, and they look like they're just an average guy on the field. When they're playing, they look average. And I can't even say that for Bryce. I cannot even say that for Bryce, man, because he looks lost every fucking game he plays in. And Panthers fans are starting to get fed up with it. I'm actually reading on Twitter and other social media sites and stuff like that people are getting tired. The fans are outraged. They can't stand watching this guy try to play quarterback. And don't give me it's the receivers, it's the offensive line, because they added pieces, they added depth, they got better overall offensively. And now all of a sudden, this is the same issue over and over again. Maybe it's the quarterback that can't make plays. Maybe it's the quarterback that can't read the coverages. Maybe it's the quarterback that can't hit the throws. Maybe it's the quarterback that's turning the ball over too much. And maybe it's the quarterback that is holding them back from reaching their potential as a team. What potential that may be, I don't fucking know. But you know for a fact that Bryce Young has little to no potential at this point. I know a lot of people are going to say, it's the first game of the season against the Saints. The Saints aren't some defensive juggernaut. They might not even be top 10 in the league, all right? And he played like garbage. He threw 2 interceptions that were totally his fault, one on the first throw, and second half on the second throw. So you could say, he progressed, he got better as the game went on. No, he didn't, all right? If you were watching the game, you would realize that every time this guy went to drop back, he was seeing ghosts, he was panicking, he had jittery movement with his feet in the pocket. And by the way, that's been a staple of his game. When there's any sort of pressure coming from the interior or the edge, he will get jittery feet and throw it as quick as he can. And he doesn't even bother to focus on throwing it with accuracy. He just tries to launch it as quick as he can. And he has a cream puff arm. I've talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again. He doesn't have the arm strength to play in the NFL. He has a J.P. Lossman, Bailey Zappi arm. And that is not an arm that you want to have as a starting quarterback, because that means you are very limited to the type of passes that you can throw on the field. You probably can't throw deep, you can't throw into tight windows. And by the way, there was some moron named Thinking Football that made a video on this guy saying how, he's going to take a huge, leap. And he made some big boy throws. And the big boy throws were 10-yard throws to wide open players. That's not how that works. That's not what a big boy throw is. So Thinking Football, if you're watching this video, I don't know what you were thinking when you made that fucking video, because it's the worst fucking video I've ever watched in my life. You have 15 minutes of positive clips stuck in Bryce Young's cock, and then you got 2 minutes of, he actually sucks at playing quarterback, by the way. He can't read coverage. He can't feel pressure. He's not athletic. He is a immobile 5'8" quarterback. Don't say he's athletic, because I didn't see any of that. I have not seen a smidge of athletic ability that he showed me in that game. He's not a good runner. He's not a good passer. He's like the 5'10", even worse version of Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray sucked too today. He was fucking horrible. He missed Marvin Harrison Jr. for a wide open touchdown and fucking win the game. But regardless on your opinion about Kyler Murray, Bryce Young just does not have what it fucking takes to play in the National Football League. And despite all the things that I've already said about Bryce Young, you still fucking get people that go into my videos about Bryce Young and they watch a minute and a half of it and they pause it and they write a ranting comment pissed off at me saying how I don't know anything about football, or I don't watch the games, or how I'm just guessing, or whatever the fuck they say now. I don't even know and I don't really care. I look at some of them, I get a nice chuckle out of them, and I just ignore it. Because I know most people are ignorant. They tell me that I don't watch the games when they are the ones who are not watching the games. They're not watching the film. Watch the all-22 tape from last year. He played like a scrub in every game. He had not one single good game last year. He's not going to have one single good game this year. If I was the Panthers and I was trying to win now, every team should try to win the Super Bowl every single year. Andy Dalton is a 5 times better option. He might have a cream puff arm. His arm might be shot. But he has better decision making. He goes through progressions. And, I mean, at this point, he might be on par with Bryce athletically, because what I'm seeing athletically from Bryce Young is not impressive in the slightest. He does not wow me as an athlete. He doesn't even make me say, okay, this kid's got some athleticism in him. He's got some juice in him. He doesn't have any fucking juice in him. And it's going to stay that way until he gets benched. And the Panthers need to bench him. And once again, back to the ignorant Bryce Young fanboys, because they're clueless. They're the ones who aren't watching the games. Because if you say that, oh, someone hasn't been watching the games, I can tell that you haven't been watching the games, or whatever the fuck they've been saying, I don't even want to bother with it, but I'm mentioning it because I need to mention it in this video, because there's so many Bryce Young fanboys that it blows my fucking mind. How does a quarterback this bad get so many fans? Is it because he's relatable, because he's a little fucking shrimp? He's 5'8", can't see over the line? He's got midget syndrome. The guy can't fucking play quarterback. It doesn't care I don't care how tall or short he is. If he sucks at quarterback, he sucks at quarterback, and he sucks at playing quarterback. But the fanboys continually ignore all the red flags and all the warning signs that Bryce Young has put on the game film over, the last year against NFL competition, and they push their narrative that he's going to take some magical leap into stardom in his second year when he's not. He didn't have a good game. He didn't have a good game the first year. The entire first year he had 0 good games. And this year will be the same old fucking story for Bryce Young. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. He'll still have fanboys who, clearly Bryce is their hero. And for those people who, really love Bryce, just stop. Just enough. Enough of this. Enough of this shit. You don't need to subject yourself to this. You're torturing yourself. This guy sucks, and you need to realize he sucks. The quicker you come to that, conclusion, the better that your life will be. All right? Don't fucking cheer for this guy, because there's nothing to cheer for. He's not a fucking good quarterback. And he's proven it time and time again. But the red flags will still be ignored for people that are pushing agendas, that are pushing narratives. And I see people saying, I'm keeping, these receipts. Oh yeah, I'll come back to this video in 6 months when Bryce is a superstar. And he fucking blows. He's fucking horrible. This guy sucks. And people still defend him. And he's done nothing good. When you watch the film, once again, flick on the all-22, he can't read defense. He throws to his first read every fucking play. He can't throw over linebackers. He can't look off safeties. He can't read basic NFL concepts. He can't read advanced NFL passing concepts. He can't do basic stuff that an NFL quarterback can do. And that's frightening. That should scare the fanboys. That should scare the Carolina Panthers fans. I'm done with this video. Bryce Young is absolutely horseshit. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.